Hi, welcome. Here's your Go Math lesson 16.3. We're going to be focusing on measuring in inches and feet. So measuring with inches, you're going to need your ruler, and then to measure it, we're going to talk about how much a foot is, okay? Why is measuring in feet different from measuring in inches? Who can tell me what's bigger, inches or feet? Is 1 inch bigger than 1 foot? No, an inch is smaller than a foot. A foot is larger than an inch. Draw to describe how you did each measurement. So let's read the problem. You're going to measure the distance between the sheets of paper folded in half lengthwise, then measure the same distance using, okay. Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay. Because of social distancing and guidelines like that, we cannot do that. But what they want you to understand is that a paper clip is about the size of an inch, and the size of a foot is 12 inches. So a foot is 12 inches. So if you look at this ruler is about a foot long. This is 1 foot. Now see from the 0 to the 1, take an inch mark. It's like that big. That's an inch. Look at my hands. Look at my 2 fingers from here to here. This is an inch. This is 1 inch. This is 1 foot. Which one is longer, 1 foot or 1 inch? 1 foot is longer than 1 inch. An easier way to remember that, if you ever have to measure and you don't have a ruler, there's tricks to this. An inch is about from the first line in your finger to the tip of your finger. That's about 1 inch. It's not exactly, but it's very close to about 1 inch. Let me show you. The tip of my finger to about the top of my finger. If I start at the 0, see how that's about 1 inch? Okay. Now, 1 foot is about from your elbow to your wrist. Some people's hands are longer, some are shorter. It's probably, oh yeah, because you guys are smaller. When you grow older, it'll be about a foot. But now that your bodies are smaller, maybe it'll be from the tips of your finger to your elbows. But normally, it would be from the wrist to the elbows, about 1 foot. So I want you guys to put your ruler on your elbows. See, some people's hands are longer or shorter than others, and that's fine. But this is 1 foot. Got it? Okay. So let's write class. So let's write that down. A inch, we're not going to do that. We're just going to write what we just learned. A inch is bigger or smaller? A inch is smaller than a foot. Okay? An inch is smaller than a foot. A foot is larger than an inch. All right, let's move on. 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. A 12-inch ruler is about 1 foot long. You can measure lengths in inches and also in feet. The real table is about 60 inches long. The real table is also about 5 feet long. So if I say the table is 60 inches long, or if I say it's 5 feet long, it's the same measurement. It's the same size. It's the same table. But one of them I'm measuring with inches, and the other one I'm measuring with feet. So if you go to the doctor's office and they say, how tall are you, or they take your measurements, sometimes they say foot, and then the remaining is in inches, right? So if I have inches that are less than 12, then that's not a whole foot. Those are inches. For example, me, I am 5'7". My height, I am 5 feet 7 inches. So I'm 5 of these put together and an additional 7 inches. The reason they didn't say I'm 6 foot is because I I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5 and 7 inches. If I was 5 and 12 inches, then I would be 6 foot. Because 12 inches is a foot, and then 5 plus 1 is 6. Then I would be 6 foot. But I'm not. I'm 5 feet 7 inches. And you guys are probably some kind of feet and some inches. Now, in a case where we're measuring a table or an item or whatever it may be, if I say, like, for example, this table is 5 feet long, 5 feet is the same as 60 inches. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
5 feet is the same as 60 inches. If I were to add 12 5 times, then I would get 60. Let me show you. You can take out my calculator. I'm going to add 12 5 times. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does that equal? 60. So 5 feet and 60 inches is the same. Kind of get it?
Yeah.
So let's measure our table, our desk in front of us. Let's move on. Our desk, we're going to measure it in like the width this way, okay? Our table is 12 and then about another 12. Not exactly, but we're just saying about. So 12 and 12 makes what? What's 12 plus 12? 24. So our desk is about 24 inches long. 24 inches is how many feet? How many rulers? Good. 2. You need 2 feet. If you put 2 rulers next to each other and measure your desk, it's about 2 feet. And again, this is just to the nearest. This is about. So onliners, since you're doing this at home, your desk measurements are going to be different than mine. Just measure any table you have at home and write that here, okay? So you might not have a standard school desk like this, and that's fine. But whatever table or desk you work on, you put your computer on, whatever, choose whichever one you want around the house and write the measurements here. Also, you guys are going to measure a window in inches and feet and a door in inches and feet. Notice that the door and the window are telling you the width. That means you're measuring this way, the width. How wide is it? Okay? And then we're going to find real things like posters and bulletin boards and measure those. Now, again, if you're online, you might not have a bulletin board. That's fine. Just go ahead and measure another window if you'd like, okay? So this one will be another window, not the same window that you used here, because I want different measurements. Not the same window you used here, but a different window, maybe a longer or smaller window, okay? And then for a poster, if you have a poster laying around the house, measure that. If you don't, go measure a newspaper for me, okay? All right, and you're going to write the measurements down. And that's okay. The whole point of this is just measuring things, knowing how to measure. All right, let's skip all that, and we'll go back to that later in class, people. Right now, let's move on and do number 6 and 7 together. Estimate the length of a real shelf in inches and in feet, then measure. So we have to estimate. That means without measuring, we are going to think about a bookshelf, like that bookshelf, and we're going to look at the width of the bookshelf, just looking at it. Approximately, how many feet do you think that is? Maybe 2 feet? Okay. Let's write that down. And 2 feet is how many inches? 12 plus 12 is? 24. So that's about 24 inches. Okay. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to measure it and see if my estimate was right. So I'm going to move you guys with me. And this is the bookshelf I was referring to. So looking at this bookshelf, we said it's about 24 inches or 2 feet. Now I'm really going to measure. I have my ruler in my hand, and it's on the inch side. So from this edge to about here, that's 12. And then from here to here, that's another 12. That's 2 foot. And then from here to here, that's about 5 inches. So if I would say exactly, that's 2 feet and 5 inches. So 2 feet is how many inches? How much did we say? 2. No, we just said 2 feet is 24 inches. Now plus 5, because I said this is 24, this is 12, 12, and then 5. What's 24 plus 5? 29. So the exact measurement is 29 inches. Now if I say feet, well, it's actually 2. Look here. It's 1, 2. It's not 3. See, look, it hangs off. It's not 3. It's a half. So it's actually 2 feet and 5 inches. So if I would say exactly, it's exactly 2 feet and 5 inches. All right, so it's 2 feet and 5 inches. So what is an estimate again? It's a guess. Estimate means guess. It's kind of like in science, hypothesis. It's an educated guess. Estimate is a math word, but it also means guess. It doesn't mean like guess La La Land, like, oh, that's 100 feet long. No, it's a realistic guess. It's a close guess. You understand? Obviously, my bookshelf isn't 100 feet long. That's like 100 of these put together. Does it look that big? No. Maybe the whole wall is 100 feet long, yeah, but not the bookshelf. Right? All right. Let's look at number 7. Look at your measurements for the shelf. Why is the number of inches different than the number of feet? Why is the number of inches bigger than the number of feet? Because inches are smaller than feet. Because inches are smaller than feet. Okay, so a fun project I like to do every year with measuring is I like to get a big piece of butcher paper. Since you're online, you're probably not going to have that. But if you want to pick some up from school, I'll be happy to give that to you. I'll have it in the front office. Just let me know that you want it. Okay? Or if you don't want to come to school and you still want to do it, then you can just get construction paper and tape them together at the ends. So what is the project? What I like to do is I like to trace your body on paper and measure how many inches tall you are, right? And also measure how many feet, like measure in inches, measure in feet how tall you are. And then we get to cut it out, decorate it, write the year, and just leave it as a memory for yourself. But it's a fun add-on activity that we can do with measuring. So you feel free to do that if you would like. Now that's not mandatory, you don't have to, but it's a fun thing you can do at home. Now what I want you to do today is you're going to complete page 560 to 562. Again, if you want to work on that project today, that would be great. If you want to wait until you come pick up border paper or butcher paper from me, then that's fine too. Let me know what you want to do, okay? I will see you later. Bye, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.